Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey, team. So I have a phrase. I think it's called an idiom, right? What does it mean when someone says, you know it like the back of your hand?
Like intimately, right? Like
Yeah, or you know it really, really well.
so well.
Part of you.
How many people actually know what the back of their hand does?
Huh. Outside of PAC, probably not that many.
So that phrase, though, it means like, yeah, I intimately know this stuff, and yet how many people actually know that the only thing the back of your hand does is help you let go? It also gives a good indication of how hydrated you are or how old you are, I suppose.
It's a great place if you need to stick, because if you need to draw blood, because they're real close to the surface.
Right up there.
Unless you're dehydrated, then don't go there. That's not a good plan.
So as we get into this idea of hands and feet and things that we know really well, how many of us actually know our feet really well and what they look like and don't like? How often do you actually look at your feet intimately?
Not too often.
Yeah. How much do you like people messing with your feet, touching your feet? How much do you touch your feet?
Well, actually, I get a manicure or pedicure once a month, so I like it when someone else does it, not me.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, so how many of you out in Facebook world also like that pedicure? You don't want to even do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and you've got the opposite side. How many of you are like, don't touch my feet, no matter what you do, please don't touch my feet?
Foot massage, now that's very different than a pedicure.
That's true too. Mm-hmm.
Don't ever. No.
Oh, no.
Not at all. Okay.
Never.
How about hand massages?
I don't love them. You like them, Kelly?
Yeah, well, I like them when my arthritis isn't acting up and if the person is respectful of my arthritis. But yes, I do like hand massages.
So all of this stuff, these extremities, how important are they to your daily function?
Everything.
Yeah. What do we actually use our feet for, primarily?
Walking, balance.
Balance movement.
Walking, balance, movement. How many of you, when you sit down, are comfortable having your feet floating in the air?
Not at all. It's very uncomfortable. It actually, and a couple of chairs that we talked about how it cuts off the circulation back on the backs of your calves. If the chair hits wrong and your feet are dangling, it presses, like if this is your knee, like right here, suddenly this part becomes numb. If this is the back of your leg.
Yeah. And when you're sitting in a bus or on a plane, you know, when we used to be able to do that kind of thing, what do your feet constantly search for? Something to prop up on. If your legs are, you're looking for the thing. You want to try to, I got to ground myself. So when we go in to provide foot care, what do I already know about this PAC team? Is going to present a bit of a challenge.
I might be okay, but
It's going to be okay as long as I look like I'm professional.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's good. I think that's the number one reason I'm going to be drugged. Honestly. I don't know if people, unless they had this, are going to have a solution other than I will fight you to the death if you touch my feet.
And what's the problem with not doing foot care regularly?
Oh, we ended up, it's such a great bellwether, a canary in the coal mine of health. Like
another idiom.
Yes. Yeah. Another idiom, right? That if my feet are ashy or yellowed toenails, if my circulation's bad, those, or hooked over, or even the way my foot may be held. my toes, is it a bunion or is it now some cramping? Oh, hydration, everything. To me, the feet is where I want to see next when I'm trying to figure out how someone is health-wise.
So it's really important to get some contact with our feet on a regular basis. And yet it can be one of the hardest places to allow even myself, but someone else in. Right. It could be ticklish, it could be painful, or it could just be downright uncomfortable, and I don't like it. And a lot of how we get into this position to support someone with foot care depends on our, you got it, approach and offer. So if you want to throw in the chat, or if you have a question about what we're doing, go for it. Let us know. We're getting some videos ready that we'll be putting out there for you guys soon on Teepa's Clips and YouTube about foot care. But since I have the source right here, I figured let's go ahead and have her show us an approach and how we get into this positioning that can make foot care more bearable. So I'm going to see if I can angle my camera down a little bit so that you guys can see what happens. Oops, let me go that way. There we go. All right.
Oh, talk about taking one for the team, Amanda. Thank you. You're the one with tracks off already.
I wouldn't have asked you, Beth, to do something like this, but yeah.
But actually she has. So what I would say is what you just saw me do without interacting with Amanda at all. I didn't say anything, Amanda didn't do anything. I actually went ahead and placed some supplies that I might need over to the side where I'll be able to reach them when it's time for me to do something, but I don't want to have them in my hands when I'm doing my meet and greet. And I don't want them distracting Amanda. And one of the things I'll often do just to get started is I'll often, if people have shoes on, that's a different thing than when people are already barefoot. So Amanda happens to be already barefoot, but one of the things I'll often use as an assessment tool is whether someone is okay taking their shoes off in front of me. Because you'd be amazed how many people are just not even comfortable taking their shoes off, taking their stockings or socks off. And that's sort of where it all starts. So what I want to do is be very thoughtful about even going into this activity. So Amanda doesn't have shoes on, so obviously she's running around barefoot and she's comfortable with that. So if she does have something on her feet, I want to be real careful that I don't start by trying to take something off her feet without permission. So we will do our standard, Amanda, hey, Teepa, how you doing? Now I'm staying down low so you can see me. I wouldn't normally crawl around on the floor, but I thought it would be easier to see a body. I come in, I'm going to get to the side, and she just showed me she's okay with me continuing to do hand under hand. Mm-hmm. So that's a good sign. I know that. Hey, Amanda, I noticed something. Mm-hmm. Let me show you. Now, what did I just do?
You didn't even point to her foot yet. It was all about you. You're where she could see, not her. It looks like. So
I put my foot out directly in her eyesight. I want to show you something. And so my phrase was, I want to show you something. Not I want to look at something on you. I want to show you something. And now what I'll do is I'll pull my pant leg up and I'll take my sock off. And I'll say, I noticed like right here on your foot, looks a little dry. Right Does here it? On the tree. Yeah. You want to check it out? Now, what does that tell me? Why did I want her to check it out? What am I looking for? What am I assessing? Because again, this is all, understand from my perspective, I got to do some assessment here. What am I finding out?
I noticed immediately how Amanda was able to know where her own foot was, what you were talking about even. And then the reach down, she was starting to pull at her own pants.
She's rubbing her on her leg, but she's not doing what?
Not moving her foot out. So
she's not doing anything with her foot.
Right.
Nothing at all. So, I mean, she's right here. So it tells me she either has issues with forward movement, She's not good at bending. Maybe she has some pain on her low back. Maybe she's still not quite getting where we're all the way down here. So, and she's still not coming down.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say, so Amanda, you try putting your foot right here. Now, what did I just provide?
That resting space, that place that she can pick it up and put it.
Because what did Amanda say our feet are for?
Grounding.
They ground us. And so what I want to make sure is I have a place for her foot to be. Oh, hang on just a second. Here you go. Tell you what, put it right on here. Now, nothing, she's trying. It's not actually happening. So what I'll do is, can I help a little bit? Okay. I did ask permission to help because what I'm going to do is I'm going to come, okay, I'm going to come under that knee and put my hand on the opposite knee.
Okay.
So that all I have to do is straighten my arm. And I'm using a mechanical advantage because my elbow is right behind her knee. And when I bring it up, she can automatically place it. If I instead, put that, lift here.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see Beth in the film. Yeah. Woo! This is really different than a firm, solid surface. And all I'm doing is doing this. And then I will take my hand classically to the front of the ankle. And it's a firm, flat hand to the front of the ankle. If she starts to lift it, and I can help place it. Now that it's placed, I will take this hand and bring it back. Now, why do I want to bring it back?
You know, that having experienced it, that was the only place when my knee became 45 degrees again, my leg became 45 degree angle again, 90 degree angle again. And you had the firm pressure on the top of my knee for the appropriate side. That was the only time I was suddenly finally okay again. Yeah, because when it's out like this, if I do something out here,
wow, that really is disturbing.
That's really not comfortable. If I bring it back under and I apply tension, and the tension is at the end of the muscle where the tendon is, right above the knee, and I give downward pressure, then I can use my hand out here, and your tolerance is so much higher. If I take this off, it starts to be uncomfortable. If I get here and I start trying to do things there,
you're triggering this up
the movement to get away from me.
Whereas even before, as long as you were down, you did a push, even if you need both hands, my leg is already pushing down.
Yeah. And this does, if I am here and Manda is actually really struggling, this is where literally I can help her. I can say, she's going to trim your nails. Now, I am her partner, hand under hand, hand under hand, pressure down through the knee. And what I've done with my thigh, I'm going to hold Manda's foot up so you can see it, is I'm applying pressure so that I actually am in her arch. And now if she's here and here, try to push out. If she's out here. And so that's what people tend to do, is they tend to pull people's feet out and try to mess with them out here.
The other thing that you did there that was kind of cool is indicated that there's someone else. So if you're someone like Beth who has low tolerance for this kind of thing, and you know that we want to start here with my partner, the person I know well and I'm more comfortable with.
She's going to trim your nail. Here we go. She's going to touch. She's going to touch. How you doing, Amanda? She's making some progress. Good job. You're doing great. You're doing great.
A lot of pumping, a lot of nice firm pressure, but she's not leaving. She's not letting go of me. This other person who I don't like very much is doing the dirty work down there.
I will touch a lot out here with this kind of pumping up here. And because my cues are proximal meaning closer to the core of the body,
I'm not even noticing.
They're intense here, and I am doing this. Now, Shelly, we would have to be real careful because she has arthritis in her hands.
Right.
So it may be more of an up and down at the knee, where I'm applying tension, releasing, applying and releasing. But when I do that, it turns out the brain can't really pay attention as much out here. And it could be cleaning between the toes. It could be trimming. It could be scrubbing. The thing you don't want to do is a lot of finger stuff. So if you are going to do the toes, if someone is going to trim the toes, their hand needs to be firm on either side of the toe, stabilize, trim, stabilize, trim, stabilize, and then it's more push down. And you've got to be respectful because these little guys, you little piggies, are not happy to be messed with. They will go all the way home.
I think so. Teepa, one of the things that I recall, and I think it, as I'm watching it versus experiencing it, one of the things that's so I'm happy about is in truth, there was two things I remember feeling when you were doing it. And when you watch your hand under hand, like if you're the partner that's not doing the toes, you're with Amanda because she's got low tolerance, high sensitivity. It's not this feeling of trap. Like it truly is my brain pays more attention to you, your words, and the connection and the pumping and the pressure on the top of the knee. I'm able to then tolerate. But if I really am done with it, I can still get away.
I can say enough, and I'll say that's it. She's done.
Yep. Today, and that was the other thing. It was a time period. So this idea that I can tolerate it with you for X amount of minutes, and then we have to stop.
Yep.
Taking a deep breath. Okay, let's go. And you did that even when we were on stage. You were doing it, and then you would press down on my knee, turn to the audience, and totally give me space. Talk a little education, come back, check back in, re-PPA. And go back in and show a little bit more. And I think that the utility of the pause and the fact that Amanda wasn't being held by you is such a critical piece there, that it's until you try this with somebody and you're at Amanda's place,
Yeah. So this one other thing that I would point out. So if I do this is also a place where I could bring the bath in, the foot cleaning bath. I could put her foot soak in and then bring her foot down. It's like, feel this. How's it feeling? You doing okay? And again, the tension on top so that as she lowers her foot, how's that? And then even with the water, add the washcloth on top in the water and not mess with her foot directly, but do it with the washcloth in the water, which feels very different than skin to skin.
Or lifting up
or
because you want to get out.
Yeah. So,
all right. So Facebook world out there, hopefully you got something from this. Well, thanks everybody for joining us.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread Teepa's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.